most common moving violation for drivers is speeding. It is also one of the most dangerous, contributing to 25% of all traffic fatalities.
But a local woman is trying to change all of that, one speed zone at a time. Tony has more in today's Behind the Wheel.
When Leslie Carlson gets behind the wheel of her Prius, she takes it to the limit. And that's exactly where she leaves it.
I drive like an old lady.
Leslie never drives faster than the posted speed limit. She does not speed anytime, anywhere. Of course, it hasn't always been this way.
I mean, I was a normal speeder like everyone is,
right?
I have one speeding ticket from when I was 19, yes. I was probably doing 85.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was 19.
Go, Leslie,
yeah.
go. But when her own kids began to drive, Leslie came to a realization.
As I was teaching them, I became super aware of safety on the road, and particularly my driving. I started to read up about speeding and how dangerous speeding is, So I thought, well, I'm just gonna try for a month to drive the speed limit.
And so it began, a tiny little gesture with a trunk load of challenges.
The way roads are designed for efficient movement. They're not designed to check your speed, so it's very easy to lose track of what you're doing. Yeah. And all of a sudden realize you're 5-10 miles over the limit. At least once a day, somebody will ride my bumper very, very close as I'm driving the speed limit. Once or twice a week, I get actual words or a really unsafe pass, like a sort of a physical demonstration of anger.
And it's not just other drivers putting Leslie's speed in the spotlight.
Do you find that now passengers who ride with you who know you're doing this are hyper vigilant? Like,
yeah.
Leslie,
like, I'm
Leslie.
1 mile over right now, yeah. And you know who's the worst? My kids.
Of course.
Yeah.
To stay consistent, Leslie uses cruise control and constant attention. She's been keeping it legal for a little less than a year and says it's hardest on the freeway or when she's running late. But at this point, there's no turning back.
I'm gonna try to do it for the rest of my driving career if I can.
As it turns out, this not so radical act of civil obedience is catching on.
I have been approached by friends and others who have said to me that they're doing the same thing and trying to stay at the limit.
Which is great, but Leslie understands that her driving is her business and your driving is yours. She's not trying to start a movement, but admits that if she were, the branding practically writes itself.
Ask me about how slow I'm driving, that bumper sticker.
Yeah. Never speeding does put Leslie on the right side of the law, but also on the right side of physics. A person is 70% more likely to be killed if they're hit by a car going 30 miles an hour versus 25. Slower is safer, and for Leslie, it's also smarter.
It's maybe more patient and more present in the rest of my life. I have definitely had to leave earlier and think more about time. Now that I'm taking more time driving, I'm taking more time washing the dishes, I'm taking more time to talk to my kids. I'm like more present in a way that I wasn't before.
And to those who think, what's that crazy lady in the Prius? What's her problem? What is she trying to prove? What do you say to the naysayers?
I'm at an age in my life where I'm not really, I don't really care that much about what other people think, but I will say I've taken a lot of joking from my friends. One of whom said to me, that is the most old lady thing I've ever heard of in my life. So I just laugh and say, yeah, but I'm still gonna do it.
I'm Tony Martinez, Fox 12, Oregon. Leslie's my new hero.
I know, great little piece.
And she mentioned how roads are kind of, almost like designed for efficiency, so it's easy to speed, but more and more you'll see neighborhoods where they have this thing called traffic calming. You'll see like islands there, or you'll see like curb extensions that make it harder to speed, physically harder to speed, which I think is a great thing.
I think it's important too for people who want to be like Leslie and go the speed limit. It is your right to go the speed limit, and people, if they want to rush around you, that's their thing. Yeah. But it also can make it dangerous to those people, because I'm one of those people who sits in the right lane. I drive,
common sense
really
always applies, but I love the way she also pointed out that now that she's being more mindful about her driving, she's being more mindful about everything.
Right. Well, and I really liked how she said it was teaching her kids to drive, because I will say I had that exact same experience where I thought, oh yeah, you fully stop. Oh yeah, you don't speed. I mean, all these rules you're telling your kids.
Right.
It does make you more mindful of that.
It does indeed. That's a really good piece, Tony.